I think we are
Yes.
live. Hello,
Yes,
everybody
we
in
are.
YouTube land. We are live. This is Q&A with Queen
April.
and we're going to go ahead and do our intro.
Uh-oh.
Hey, hey. Woo!
Q&A with Queen and April.
Okay. All right. Enough with the show.
I feel some hateration on my dance moves. See, like, you know what I'm saying? I should put on like a YouTube dance show and get y'all warmed up and excited. Well, I thank everybody for joining us this evening. And if you have not been here before, we would love for you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel with Q&A, Queen and April. And this is just about two ladies who's been in real
Yes.
estate, just having a good time, talking about good things, and just, sharing what we share. Nothing crazy. We have questions that are asked of us, and we don't really have all the answers. So we hope that you can participate. If you do have a question or an answer, please feel free to chime in. And I just want to ask you, April, how was your weekend?
My weekend was actually a reset.
Good. It looks like you've been doing a
Yes.
lot of that on the weekends.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My weekdays are so full that I have to be extremely intentional about my resets. I usually have a very strict regimen or
Mhm.
routine that I adhere to, but I allow room for flexibility,
Well,
right?
that's
So
good.
where I'm not being all bent, all out of shape, but got
Yes.
a lot done. Was able to spend quality family time, which is always a plus. And I was able to get some rest too, because I
That's
had to be
good.
ready for this upcoming week.
So I literally am retired. So I do whatever I want to do. And I just laid in the bed when I felt like laying in. I did have a
Ooh,
meeting about my fashion show that's coming up to support charity for St. Jude's. And that went
mhm.
really well. I met the lady who did the pageants for Florida, Miss Florida, and when took those people to
Excellent.
USA. So she's as old as ever. But I'm going to tell you right now that woman is sharp and fancy. She got her outfit on. She came dressed in one of the outfits for one of the themes. So we asked for jean theme. She had on the jean jacket with the shirt, and she had the
Love
earrings and
it.
the gold. I have to send you a picture because I'm telling you, this lady, whoo, she was something else. And I said, "Oh, I'm going to get you an assistant." She said, "Oh, I have an assistant." I said, "Okay, girl, let me get out of my way."
Okay.
I feel bad for anybody who has something to say because she's the queen of all pageants. And if they bring in their
Love it.
ideas, it ain't gonna fly. So I said, "Ooh, Lord, Miss Donna, I stand corrected."
Well, remember, I was actually there visiting with you when you did the introduction call with her. Although I couldn't really hear what she had to say, but just based on your responses, it was
Yes.
a very
Oh
engaging
my God.
call.
This woman, I swear to
Um,
God, she had on 3 inch. When I send you the text of what she looked like, she had on 3 inch heels. I can't wear 3 inch heels under any circumstance ever. I will bust my two front teeth. She
well,
she walks
listen,
slow, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this lady here, gotta see. I'm sending you the pictures. When you get off the phone, you'll see them because it's
okay.
something. It's something to see. And everybody's like, not the three. We all was like, we were put to shame. I showed up looking like I got to leave, come back, get a face job, a boob job, a head job, a hairdo. I was like, this lady here done put me to shame. I would love to look like that when I get her age, and I admire her, and she's sharp.
I
So I don't
love
know what
it.
she's doing, but she better start telling some secrets because I know a lot of people do things and they don't want to share. I need to know. But
Yes,
anyway, enough of
yes.
that. It was a great meeting. Met with some another group of fabulous women. One was owns a fashion. I mean, owns a boutique, and then the other two
Hmm.
ladies just want to help me. They just showed up. It was
I
like,
love
listen,
it.
we got money. We got people that got money. We know TV people. They can be hosts and judges and all that. So I really wish you could come down and be a judge. That would be nice on what is it, March 7th. That would be
Oh,
nice.
really? That's
Yeah.
5 days after my birthday.
Well, then make it a birthday week. But yes, if you come down, the only thing is that you do have to be there for the auditions, which is in October. So you'd have to come for
Mhm.
that because you're a
Oh,
judge.
wait, I can tell you offhand, I can tell you this. So my October schedule is very packed. As a matter of fact, I think the only availability I have in October is the second week of October, but I'm
Okay, so
gone the
this is
first
the
and
third. Yep, it's October
yes,
3rd. So you won't be able to do it, but that would be nice. That would have been
yes,
nice.
yes.
So we can have some
Yeah.
flavor and color. But anyway, So I'm going to go start off with our quote of the day. It's fitting with the topic that we have. It says, associate yourself with good people of good quality because all money is not good money.
You can say that
Hey,
again.
hey.
I say it all the time. All money is not good
All money
money.
ain't good
Let me tell
money.
you, if it comes with a headache, poof, be gone. Like, mm-mm.
We tend to chase it off. So today's topic is about you're fired, in the words of Donald Trump. When is it a good time to fire a client? What say you, April?
That's a great question. And for me personally, when my client wants me to do something that's unethical, it's a great time to fire the client. And then since I am the type of individual where I don't like to, intentionally take advantage of people, if I have a client that throughout the transaction, they've expressed nothing but greed, I have to begin to pull away. And as a matter of fact, there are times where I did have to just kind of pull away. And I remembered when my spouse was, before he passed away, uh, because when you're married, you have the joint income or what have you, and so forth. And I remember just pulling back and having a conversation with him and saying, listen, this is the client that I'm working with. This is the price point, and here is the money that we stand to lose. Now, granted, we all know as professionals in the real estate arena, the money is not yours until you actually get to the table to close. So let me retract that and say, here is the money, the potential money we stand to lose. And I pretty much took the time to share with him how unreasonable my client had been throughout the entire um, dealings of the transaction. And it got to the point, Queen, where I had just completely had enough. And sometimes when we're making decisions, I don't know about you, but we need to check our emotions. And I was like, this is what's about to go down. And I'm really just ready to fire this client. How do you feel about it? And I just loved what he said. He said, you do whatever you feel you need to do. Because what? All money ain't good money.
Well, that's nice that you consulted. I ain't consulted nobody. You guys to go. You getting fired. I don't care. One thing you did touch on, which is really rather interesting, not just saying when a person wants you to do unethical things, but the unethical thing that they're asking you. For example, I had a client that wanted to purchase a house for himself, but he was looking at a HUD home and he was trying to buy it for uh, himself, and you can't. So he was probably
Mhm.
going to flip it or whatever. So he's like, "Well, I could just say it's for my mother." I said, "What you're going to say is look at your email and see what it says when you go to jail by yourself, because I'm not going with you, and then we can talk." Those type of
That
things I
part.
just can't do. So there are certain unethicals. There's also unethical behavior when it comes to race. Just because
Mhm.
people of color doesn't mean you can't fall into a trap too, because people of color will say things like, "Well, I don't live in them neighborhood, dum 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 dum." Well,
Right.
I live in neighborhoods with tum 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 tums as long as they ain't tum 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 tums. So I don't have a problem living with people that look like me or around, as long as you keep it together. Because I'll be honest with you, I lived in
Correct.
a lot of neighborhoods. I've had 20 homes, and it ain't always certain types of people. It's all different ones from
That's
you
it.
name it, the ethnicity. Some don't water their
Mhm.
grass. Some are, have dogs chained to the tied to the tree. There's a lot of different
Mhm.
things. So it's not a color or nationality or creed thing. And by code of ethics, we can't steer. So if somebody asks
Correct.
me that, and typically it's usually someone of the same, now people who are of other influences, they too get into a lot of trouble because they'll say, well, we want to live around these types of people, and
Right.
that's an agent is supposed to know what to say, and if they're of the
Mhm.
same influence, a lot of times they don't know what to say and they kind of like fall into a trap. They get caught.
Mm.
There are
So
testers
how
out
do
there
you
that can
handle
help
that?
you.
I mean, I have my particular way of handling when I have a client share with me or express that they don't want to be in certain type of neighborhoods, and
Oh, well,
or
I
avoid
immediately
that.
shut it down. There's only one
Yeah.
answer to that. I teach this. Unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. and Mrs. Brown, we cannot discuss the word race in any real estate transaction. That's it. If you say anything
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, it becomes a whole conversation. This is not a conversation. This is an announcement. Race cannot be discussed in a real estate
Mm-hmm.
transaction. They have to do their
Mm-hmm.
own research. They can find out if they want to look at school statistics. They can go to crime. They can do whatever they want, but I don't get involved in that conversation. I shut it down. And
Mm-hmm.
one time we had a class and we were teaching, and somebody said, well, I say this and I say that. And I said, you don't say this and you don't say that. You
Mm-hmm.
immediately shut it down. We, as real estate practitioners or professionals, whatever you want to call it,
Correct.
based on the code of ethics, cannot discuss race in a real estate transaction.
Mm-hmm.
The
And
only
I'll
thing
tell
they can
you,
ask me, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I'll tell you, for me, I don't engage in those conversations either. But what I do is I point them in a direction, as far as sharing with them what links and
Yeah,
websites they can visit
yeah, they
to
can
get
go in
the
school
information.
statistics. Yes,
Right.
that's what you do. You're the
And then
source of the source.
I,
But you have to make
and
it
then
clear because if you don't make it
yeah.
clear, even if you share the sources, it can come back up. We
Oh
need
no,
to
I
make it
make it
clear
clear. I
as
make it clear and I
you
give
like to
them.
know. Yep.
Yeah. And then also I advise them to drive through neighborhoods. But one of
Mhm.
the things I share with my clients, even during the presentation, during the buyer presentation, I share, if ever we are driving in a neighborhood and for whatever reason you feel like this is not going to be the home for you, I do not have a problem with you saying next. I don't need to know your reasoning for it
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to live there. I just don't want you feeling like, because sometimes clients tend to feel like, oh, well, I don't want to waste her time, or he or she, they took the time to do. No,
Girl,
wasting
we drive up to
time.
the front door, and
Right.
if they don't like the front door, we get back in the car and
Correct.
go. I'm not gonna go looking in the house and figuring out the
But you,
dog's gonna pet me and all. We don't like you don't like the front the petunias at the curb near the
then
mailbox. Let's keep it going. I don't,
you,
I
that's
don't
it,
do
because
that.
it's a
So I
waste of
understand that.
time.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
But
Also, another thing
yeah, go
that
ahead.
I also do is think about clients who are disrespectful and abusive. Like if a client
Yes.
curses at me. There are
Oh.
clients who have loose lips, they're sailors or
Mhm.
whatever they are. And if they don't talk to me a certain type of way, first of all, you attract who you are. So a lot of times I'm not going to get that. But I did have this
Right.
one particular lender or client, and he would just use a lot of F bombs and things like that. And it started to
Mhm.
think the way it looked at to me is he wasn't talking to me with the F bomb, but he was talking like he wasn't saying it directly to me as a person. He was just using words that in my mind felt kind of weird because if he did get upset during the transaction, those words coming back. So
Correct.
if they're too
Correct.
abusive or they say things like, well, shit, excuse me, can't you get this? Why can't you tell us that? Or goddamn, and they do all of that.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
not, it's not the way we do things. Their anger's response, even though it's not directed to me, it
Mhm.
just spills out to who they are. And when things go left, those bombs are coming my way. And then see, I got to
Yes.
get out of pocket and go Brooklyn on them. And I'm trying to be like, don't mess up my ticket to heaven.
Yes. Yes. Well, it's so interesting. It's so interesting because I remember I was working with a client, and this client happened to be just greedy. Like, have you ever worked with someone that's so greedy where you actually like, who hurt you? Like, to be so stingy and greedy and tight, it's just like that's that's a learned behavior. Like, who hurt you? Like, what happened? And you feel bad for him. So I had this one person, he would use the, profanity from here from time to time, but he wasn't speaking to me directly. I give people room to be who they are. Periodically, I was like, I am a lady. I don't use that kind of language. But he decided to send me a message telling me what I need to do in all caps. Excuse me. Not only have you shown me some other unprofessional things about yourself, but I now know that you don't have any idea or you don't understand texting or email etiquette, right? It was an email in all caps. And maybe he meant it. I don't know. But at that point, I had to stop being Miss Diplomatic April and just let him know what will and will not be tolerated. And that was another transaction that I almost had to pull out of. And it got so bad when he did what he did, Queen, I was like, and for the record, moving forward, you're not even allowed to speak to me. Any message you want me to get, you deliver that through your partner. Like
Oh.
I had to take his, I listen, what I
Mm.
won't be is disrespected, is what I will not be.
Yeah. Disrespect and
People don't
abuse.
understand the professionalism that we bring to the table. And we deal with our clients even when they're being unreasonable. But you know what? We still have to show up to the other side and represent our clients to keep in a wonderful light, to keep the seller at ease, to keep the transaction going. But meanwhile, back at the camp or back at the ranch, we're dealing with someone that's completely out of control for
Well,
whatever
also,
reason.
another reason why I would fire someone is if they try to tell me what to do.
That part.
I don't know of a doctor in the middle of surgery that allows the patient to wake up and to advise them on how to do the surgery. What they do is they go into the doctor's office, they get the anesthesia, they shut the heck up, they get the surgery, and then they wake up, hopefully, and it's over. So my real estate practice is like surgery. You tell me what you
Right.
want, you tell me what surgery you want, I find it, you shut up, I'll get it done, and when you wake up, you have a brand new house. Love it.
That's it.
I do not like demanding people. I'll meet people and they'll say things like, well, I used to do real estate, or I bought a
Mhm.
100 houses, or my mom and them did real. Listen, that right there is a red flag. It's waving me down, as red as my
Mhm.
hat. And if I keep
Mhm.
hearing that, or I can't stand real estate, they make too much money, things like that, or they just downgrading my profession, you
Yes.
are fired from the outside. And I can tell you right now, I can't say I've ever really fired a client because
Mhm.
the minute I met a person that didn't align, they weren't a client anyway. They were a prospect or a suspect. They were fired before they became a client.
That
But I
part.
will tell you this, if I have a client and they're giving me a little bit of pushback or making me feel uncomfortable in any form or fashion, doesn't matter what it is, I will
Mhm.
then call upon another agent who I feel has a better personality that can match with theirs so I don't lose out
Yes.
on the sale. But I
Yes.
am not going to continue in that relationship. I'd rather take a piece of the pie than none of the pie. But going into that with the type of stress, disrespect, demands, all of that, we're done because
Yes.
we've normalized real estate stress. A lot of agents deal with it because they have to chase the deal because they don't have money coming in like
Mm.
that. A lot of them take the abuse and deal with things that they couldn't normally deal with or shouldn't deal with. But because they
Mhm.
have to close or they went so far or they were at the end and they were riding it out. And I tell them, I said, look, think of firing a client just like as if the client walked away from the deal. It's the
That's
same. You
it.
didn't get the money either way. You do
That's
have your
it.
peace of mind. You got your brains. You do have some rest. Your cortisol lower. You got to just let it go
Mhm.
because that person
Mhm.
can drag you into a place where you get out of character. It gets ugly, sleepless nights. You're trying to keep it together, but there's only so much one person can take. So that's another
Right.
reason that I would let a client go is if they start acting like they know more than me. And when you know more than me, you don't need me.
Yes, yes.
You just
And
don't.
you made a very important, valid point. I know when I'm doing the presentation or the buyer consultation, discovery session, whatever you want to call it, I am actually pre-qualifying the customer because that's what they are before, up until we sign a brokerage agreement. I'm pre-qualifying them. I am vetting them to determine if I want
Mhm.
to pour my time, my energy into this individual, right?
Mhm. That's true.
Um, and I know that I'm bringing a very high level of professionalism and expertise to the transaction. Everyone is not worthy of what I have to offer.
I go, girl.
So,
Snap, snap. Talk
yeah,
that tea.
you got to know your value, right?
That's true.
And so now that goes right back to the opening quote, the end of it. Not all money is good money. When you have to compromise your peace of mind, and this is sad, Queen. Well, it's not what I'm about to say isn't funny. It's really sad, and this is just to share for those individuals who may hear this recording later. Um, Even the agents that seem to be on top of their game, they're the best in their industry. Everybody's looking at them because they're, turning houses, kicking them out left or right. Well, some of them actually do commit suicide.
It's true.
Okay?
You never know. We
You
normalize it so
never
much.
know.
You
Never
break.
know.
You can break.
Correct.
It's a
And
very volatile line between love and hating your client. And yes, and
yeah,
the industry. The industry is very demanding. Also, too, I
yeah,
find that there are people, especially sellers and even buyers, if they lack in communication at the beginning of the transaction, I can't do it.
that's it.
I set expectations very clearly.
Hmm.
I know everybody looks at their texts. I know, and then there are clients who over communicate, and I'm talking about 5 o'clock in the morning, here they come. 10 o'clock at night, here they come. I'm not talking about foreigners. I'm talking people in your local time, demanding, asking things, telling you what's next or what to do or how to do something. And their communication doesn't align or match up with what I am trying to do. I have to tell them, listen, look, this is not how it's gone. I had a lady in a real estate transaction. She said, well, when am I going to get my, and when am I going? She was trying to tell me when was time to do certain things, but she wasn't doing the things she was supposed to be doing. So you're telling me what I should
Mm.
be doing. One lady came to me and she goes, I don't like I don't like the way you wrote the description, seller. And as she was saying the description, she was doing a Chat GPT version. I do my own. I don't need Chat GPT.
Mm-mm.
And she was doing Chat GPT. Her phone was ringing. I said, "Do you see your phone?" And the reason why I know her phone was ringing because we have an app that says then when it's showing is going to happen. So I listed. 2 seconds later, she saw it because I sent her the link. She looked at it.
Yeah.
She's telling me it's not good enough. She Chat GPT something because she's not bright. And the phone
Mm.
rang, and the person that she got that approved the listing to show, they bought the house one day on the market.
See,
And I said to her,
let
she
us
said, well, I
just
guess
do
you're
our
all right
job.
then. Let me do my job. And if it's not working, I have no problems with adjusting and changing.
Correct.
I'm a client too when I have somebody sell my home. So if I had a guy sell my home and he wrote the description, but he forgot something very important, I'm going to say, hey,
Hmm.
listen, I'm not trying to step on your toes, but I have travertine tile from Egypt. Could you put that in the description that it's, a sea of
Correct.
travertine tile so they know that's so important? That's expensive stuff. I mean, nobody has that.
Hmm.
And I ask their permission versus demanding that this is what they do.
Correct.
And that makes it a
Correct.
little bit different from making someone feel bad. Now, again, real estate, I treat it with kid gloves. I treat real estate better than I even treat the way I maybe communicate with my family because you have to align yourself with a professional way of doing things. If you bring value, part of that value is patience, which I didn't know I had. My clients literally, I'm the most impatient, agitated, bothered individual in the world. And they'd be like, girl, you got so much patience. And I'm thinking, are they on drugs? Who they talking about? Because I don't think I'm patient. I'm thinking I'm letting them know. I guess because in the beginning I let them know right up. This is how it
Hmm.
is. This is how I do business. If you don't like that, to the left, to the left, to the left. Ooh, to the left, to the left. Everything you own in a box to the left. Because I don't want you guys to be. We don't want to get in a relationship. It's a relationship,
Right.
especially new construction could be a long period. Any listing could take 60 to
Yes.
90 days. Any buyer could take 30 days. We're in a relationship for
Hmm.
that long a time. That's why I like to close within 30 less than 30 days. If I can do 17, 18, 20 days, I do it so I can move them out, because
Absolutely.
Lord knows I don't have time to keep massaging things. And I have a system where I only meet my client 3 times. I've even had people
Mhm.
mad at me because I don't do things they thought were supposed to be done. Like, they thought it was my job to be at a home inspection, let's say, or my job to see the house. I'm not living there. I don't need to see it.
Mhm.
Nothing in my contract says I need to see it. It just says I need to make sure that you are ready, willing, and able. You have a lender. I write the
Mhm.
contract. I make sure the paperwork is executed and that you close. It says
Right.
nothing about me showing up. I have done real estate over the phone during
Yes.
COVID. Never saw the house. They never saw the house. Never been to the
Mhm.
inspection. The inspector showed up by himself. He got himself in. They went to the closing. I stood outside. I mean, the way COVID changed the people's mindset, I hope everybody got on board, because I have been doing it like that
Yes.
forever. My
Mhm.
system had to be lockstep in the way it was, because I personally didn't have the kind of bandwidth when you sling in houses, 10, 12 houses a month. There's just no way. You
Right.
cannot be with
Right.
everybody all the time. You know what I mean? And if
Mhm.
I don't
That's
need to
it.
inspect the house, why am I there? I call
And
dude
not
and be
only
like, yo.
that, not only that, sometimes what I found is like, I remember one time I was assisting a close friend with
Mhm.
a real estate transaction. This was years ago. And that friend, she wanted to share a little bit about how she felt or thought things should go.
Oh.
And needless to say, for whatever reason, the transaction didn't go through, right? Um, and it was so long ago, I don't even recall the details of the deal. But when she, or it may have been a situation where she decided to pause before moving forward, because sometimes you can get a client, they're ready to buy a house, and then life happens, or as they say
Mhm.
today, life be lifing.
Mhm.
And so we had to shift directions, or just make a shift. And so when she got back to the place where she was ready to again buy, she went with someone else.
Hmm.
Or but wait, this is what happened. She ended up firing them and coming back to me, because remember I said I operate with a high level of professionalism. She thought that all agents delivered the way I did. And so she could very quickly see the difference between an average agent and a professional agent. And she was, she placed just the regular service that I was providing her with. She placed that on someone else who didn't even think like that. You know what I mean?
Well, she
And
get what she
so,
get, and she don't get upset.
yeah. And she called, she did fess up and tell me, she was like, girl, because it's your friend, girl,
Mhm.
she just didn't do everything the way you did it. And
Mhm.
I was thinking to myself, mm-hmm,
Yeah.
going back to
Yeah.
what you were saying, people trying to tell you how you
What to
should do
do.
your
Yes.
job. But
And the
anyway,
last and the
yeah.
last thing I would fire a client for, and it happens. And I don't know if I even, yep, they are clients, because they running my tail around town with the
Oh, that's
foolishness,
not happening.
or I'm getting all these offers and the seller's not accepting it. Let me explain something to you. This is how it's going to go. You're qualified for this. I made sure you're ready, willing, and able. It just happened recently. Girls qualified for 500. She wants 350. Put in the
Hmm.
offer. The house is 350. She wants to put in 313. The question is, if you put the offer in for 313, they come back at like 340 or something, because you can meet in halfway, will you go for it? She says
That's it.
yes. Offer comes back at 335. No,
Hmm.
345. I said, well, let's go ahead with your 330. And she said, no, I don't want to do it. We are done. There is no need to us to go forward, because you're going to waste my time. You're going to buy, and I don't
Correct.
care who you buy from at this point, because in my opinion, you are playing games. Because
That's
I
it.
don't have a problem throwing anything at the wall to see if it sticks. But I need to
Right.
know that if it doesn't stick, where your position is and where you stand. And if I'm
That's
giving you
it.
an opportunity to go back into the game and you're like, no, so you really just want a house for 313? or 315, we
It's
could
not
do
that
that.
market.
But you're not looking at 315. You're
Correct.
looking at 360, 370, 350, and then you found the perfect house and you walked away from it. You're not a buyer. You're a tire kicker. And I'm about to kick you to the curb with the tire. I wish I had a. Where's my slap button? Slap. Pow. That's what you get. I'm glad you can laugh. I don't have time for the foolishness. You know, again,
Right.
I'm at an age where I don't have any estrogen, so I'm different. I still never had patience before, but I ain't got none now. Like if I had an ounce of it, it's gone. All the way gone. Like none. Zilch. I'm negative. I'm in the negative zone of patience. I'm moving backwards.
You
So-
below zero.
That's it. I'm look 911 the Twin Tower zero. I'm that ground zero. I'm below that. I'm down in the earth. So
I
yeah,
tell you.
people don't have time to waste. And if you're not really serious,
Not at
then you're
all.
not really serious. But today's been a great discussion. I'm so glad that everyone's been able to join us. I did want to go out. April always has a great quote, and mine hasn't changed. It basically says, surround yourself with good people because all money ain't good money. And if you don't need people in your life giving you stress, you just have to give up the money and focus your energy on something else that can create the same amount of money. Because while you're chasing that, killing your cortisol, sleepless nights, all the stress, it ain't worth it. It's just not, guys. I mean,
It's not.
Excuse my French. They need to go to the left. But anyway, this is Q&A with Queen and
April.
Oh, hey.
Q&A with Queen and April.
Okay.
Shoulder action. Anyway, bye guys. If you haven't liked, shared, and subscribed, please do so and hit the notification bell. So anytime we're live, you can